Welcome back, my fellow duplicants, to the Ultimate Automation Challenge. And in today's episode, we got a pretty awesome plan that's in the works, as I have summed up all 147 comments you guys left me, and it all revolved right around the same sort of idea. And that same idea was, hey, you know what system you should really make? It's a system that combines, you know, your carbon dioxide vent, some slicksters, and then turn that into natural gas. Now, once we have that natural gas, the things we talked about previously, we'll then bring it back on over here to the left, run it inside of this area where we have the thermal nullifier, so it'll be nice and cold, to run a natural gas generator, which is going to output liquid at a very cold temperature, and that very cold temperature will then work to continue to cool the base, creating a large thermal mass of cold water, which is very, very useful. And if that wasn't enough, we also have another natural gas generator over here, and I'm just going to have to build the Alaskan pipeline all the way from over here to get that all the way over there, and to get stuff from up here. I got a lot of pipes to build. This is not going to be a small project. The other thing is I do need to make sure that I have enough food. Right now, if you actually count up the amount of food I have as far as mealwood and bristle blossoms, it is barely enough to feed 6 duplicants. So I've printed no, there's just a 3D printer running behind me, and it's kind of annoying. I'll talk about it in a minute. I've made some more mealwood up here, planted, made, grown. I'm growing. Usually you grow plants, and that's what's happening. Some more mealwood, but I have to expand these farms. Now, I don't want to expand the bristle blossoms because of the liquid it requires to run, so I'll probably try to make some more mealwood. You know what, better yet, I should grow some dust caps, because I have a lot of slime that I've been able to mine up over here that's really just waiting to be picked up and used somewhere. So I think some dust caps over here would be a good idea to kind of round out the amount of food I have and need in order to support these duplicates. Oh yeah, and that really annoying sound, I'm actually going to turn it off here, but I got a new printer, 3D printer. I got problems. I got lots of 3D printers now. The thing is, I just got so much 3D printing to do these days. Literally, the last order at my work was for 40 kilograms of plastic. That's like a Colombian kilo. They're gonna roll up in a Miata, pull the panels off, and all this plastic's just gonna fall out. Actually, my plan for that unit is a little bit different, as I plan to take it and then try to upgrade it as much as possible, and then use that to kind of learn how I'm going to do the tutorial videos and all of that fun stuff for my other project. Plus, I just have a need for a smaller printer, because when you put stuff on a really big printer, it ties it up for days, and I just need to keep making progress. And that sounds like a good enough excuse for me to spend some money on 3D printing stuff. All right, so let's get back to... Actually, we're going to find out how good this thing does at pausing, because I don't want to listen to it all day. There was a review that said it's mostly silent except for the fans. They were wrong. It sounds like nails on a chalkboard. Alright, well, credit where credit is due. This took me an hour to put together. Came nicely packaged with extra tools for like 220 bucks. And apparently, if you turn the power off, it'll then automatically resume itself when you turn it back on. Alright, so let's take this 3D printer, place it inside of my 3D printer. Resume print. Well, I hope you go up higher than that. It says it's printing. See? Printing. Now, does that look like it's printing to you? If you're curious about that 3D printer, there's a link to it down there in the description below, and that'll also help the channel out. So let's see what I got going on today. Alright, we're going to disable that. I need to put a farm in here for some of these little dust caps. Now, a dust cap takes a carbon dioxide environment, so we need to have one of those, and it has a fairly decent temperature range. So what I have in here, actually just taking a look at our bristle blossom farm, you can see that I am having a little bit of problem with the temperature here. It's awfully close. It's the actual tiles on the farm itself are a little bit too hot. So one idea that was actually mentioned here was using the thermal shift plates in the background. That might work, considering the temperature that comes off of this Wheezewort is a little bit cooler. As long as it isn't touching, you know, the tile here, I should be okay. However, I have the feeling that I'm going to either need to cool the liquid a little bit or bring in some of this hydrogen that I have over here to this farm just to kind of help it out a little bit. Let's try the thermal shift plate first and see if that makes a difference. Some other people were asking, why do I have a pneumatic door up here? And that's because I'm trying to move the oxygen out of this room so I have a pure carbon dioxide environment. And then at that point, I'll let the pressure build up a little bit so that I have some nice high pressure here, and I can just re-cool that same gas over and over again. Now, carbon dioxide, unfortunately, is not the best gas to have cooling down. Carbon dioxide is not the best gas for cooling because its specific heat capacity is quite low at 0.8 as compared to something like oxygen, which is a little bit higher. And when you run that past something like a Wheezewort like that, it's actually cooling it down, but it can cool, you know, certain different gases like hydrogen. You get more cooling out of it, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because it has a larger specific heat capacity. So as that quantity of gas moves past it, it cools it more. Well, it cools it the same, but it results in more energy. You get... Maybe. I don't know if you ever follow what I'm saying. Yes. You know what? My liquid cooling pipes are pretty much completely backed up as far as, you know, different areas that it's trying to cool. So I might actually be able to just take that over here and cool this farm. But you know what? I already got the gas right there, right? Like, it would take almost zero effort to plug that in, Brothgar. You should really just do it. All right. You convinced me. I'm gonna do it. Abyssalite to a gas bridge. Yes. And then to another one. But where's the valve going to be? Gas shut-off valve. Where's the temperature sensor thingamabob? Oh, I already have one. Right there. However, in this situation, I want to use a NOT gate. That way, that works together. Ha! Then it will be abyssalite. Okay, so then this... Alright, so this is going to be abyssalite here. And then we'll just have radiant pipes. And I'm just going to go with iron ore this time. Right there. A little bit of abyssalite right across the Wheezewort. Yep. And then another gas shut-off valve here with a sensor. Gas thermal sensor. No! Once again, I need to move things around because it's just too compact in here. Okay, that's below 7.5. Okay. The smell of China is strong today. It's just wafting around this room. Bam! There we go. A little bit of gas pipe. Bring that over. Do the shut-off valve. What do we need? Power? Of course. We always need power. Wow, that is way too symmetrical right there. We'll just bring the gas up and then bridge it on over to the outlet. And I'm all set. Oh, darn it. I'm out of irrigation. Luckily, I have a lot of sleetweed. I made sure to dig up to the areas where sleetweed is naturally growing. And then I want to make sure that I have, for my harvest option, I enable auto harvest on all of that stuff. So that one, right up there. Gives me a lot of easy sources of food, although there's a fair amount of time in between when I can actually harvest them. But I only have 6 duplicants, so it's not a big deal. Alright, so what I need to focus on up here in order to get inside of the carbon vent and the volcano is I need to be able to have an outpost like this, where I'm inside of an exosuit, and then I need to go up there to actually kind of build a place where I can move some materials and then build everything that I need in order to combine the two systems. Now, I don't necessarily know how that system is going to work, except for you're just going to have slicksters that creates crude oil, or if I am lucky enough, I can get magma magma slicksters, which is there's like one running around right down here. Yes, a little molten slickster, and that will create petroleum right off the bat, which would be nice and useful. They actually like to live in a little bit warmer environments. The only thing is I'm not sure I can trap those too easily because they live in very hot temperatures where my little plastic trap will melt. So I don't know exactly how that's going to work, but we'll figure out a way to make it work. So that will then have crude oil and petroleum down here, and I'll probably have it drop onto a spot that's going to have a thermal coupler with a, so that's a door essentially with a temperature sensor on it to transfer the heat from the magma that comes out of this volcano over to it. And then that turns into natural gas. At that point, the natural gas needs to be cooled, so it'll probably run through a steam system. Wait a minute. Natural. Yeah. If you have hot natural gas, you can create steam. And if you're going to create steam, you might as well get a little bit of power out of that. So we can operate a steam turbine. Even though they are like kind of annoying, but whatever. We'll operate one. And then once the natural gas is cold enough, we'll be able to take that and pump it along with the stuff that we're getting from this other natural gas generator over here. Natural gas geyser. And then we'll bring it to a generator over here, convert that into power and polluted water, which will be very cold, and we'll use that. Like the condenser for the steam that comes out of the steam turbine. All built at the edge of space. Simple, right? Super simple. I have that done in half an episode. And if history repeats itself, the game is actually going to have another update, which would probably be live today. And that may completely change the way I play the game. Not to mention, I'm going to have to cover the new content. So who knows how long this project will actually take. Maybe forever. Or maybe a giant asteroid will just destroy all my base. Because I guess in this current build of the game, which was before the actual version that was released, these asteroids could eventually dig up the whole base. You know, given them a million cycles or something. Whereas it doesn't happen that way in the current build of the game. I just ended up starting this before then. This is hardcore mode. Oh, and there was another comment, right, that I have another. Yes, I have another potential geyser right here. You see how there's some neutronium right there? So, you guys got really keen eyes. I gotta go dig this up. Alright, so for this farm, since that's one thing I do need to do, and I could probably get done tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a very similar style to this, except for I'm going to have an auto sweeper down here below where some slime is going to be stored in polluted water. That way it doesn't emit a lot of polluted oxygen. And then I can use an auto sweeper to pick that up and feed the farm automatically. Maybe I can even leave the little fishy in there. That'd be nice. Alright, so a fungal spore requires 4 kilograms of slime and just carbon dioxide at a relatively decent temperature, 5 to 35 degrees Celsius. Plant. That seems fairly easy to achieve. Ooh! We got ourselves a gold volcano. Yeah, this Treco knows what's up. He's about to be blinging. Seriously. We just got a gold volcano, a volcano, and a carbon dioxide event all within fairly decent distance of each other. And you guys have been asking me about 1,000,000 times whether you can turn a glossy Treco into a power source. So, let's add that to the very long list of incredible builds I need to do. Welcome to the Ultimate Automation, where the series will never end. Never. Okay. Unless, of course, we die from a giant asteroid or something. That is completely possible. Like the moon just crashes into the whole place. I was about to say, this thing's up and running and it's working. However, it is working, but I'm not pumping any gas through it. It's actually just barely maintaining a cold enough temperature. Like, it struggles. You know, if I had a more reasonable temperature of water that was feeding this would work just fine. I just am trying to feed it 40 degrees Celsius stuff. So this will chill it down real quick. Matter of fact, that worked. However, now that really does make this Wheezewort, you know, pointless. I could move it. Alright, so I've swapped out the pneumatic door for a manual airlock at this point. Mostly because this environment's pretty much all carbon dioxide now. Real good. And as it builds up and we open this thing a bunch more times, it should push whatever oxygen that is in here out. Except for the stuff that's like trapped up here in the top left. Here's another thing. You can see how we have a lot of germs inside of here. Once the germs get out of there, you can see that the temperature is so cold that they're actually dying. And that's one of the things you know, the reasons I could pretty much just leave this open is because this polluted oxygen will still be free of germs just because of its temperature. See right there, it says current temperature 9 degrees Celsius. It's causing the germs to die off. That being what it is, I really don't need to actually do anything with this, but I probably will convert it to oxygen anyhow, just because it's still not safe to have a lot of polluted oxygen around, because it could become full of slime lung and cause a lot of problems. However, every time you're over in this area, you're inside of an exosuit. It doesn't need to be that way, because you can get inside of here. There's a lot you can do, okay? Many different ways to play the game. So I'm going to store slime inside of here, just like so. And somebody's job will actually be to sweep that up. I'll start with this stuff up here because it's more problematic. It wants to take slime lung and push it out this door into my base. Now, it can't do that really because this is, you know, pretty much just oxygen over here. And that'll eventually kill it off. But, you know, there's certain areas up here where some slime lung has gotten trapped and it's... some polluted oxygen's gotten trapped and it's converting into slime lung. Or words are failing me today, I'm sorry. I'm on a lot of caffeine. I was hoping to do some oxygen not included last night, but I ended up actually doing the Seeking Dawn video, which was a little different. I don't know, some of you guys kind of like the little different videos every once in a while, but I think it's a cool game, and I really do want to see a VR game like really succeed, and that one has some potential to do just that. So I figured it was worth a little promotion. Not to mention they hooked me up with a key for me and a buddy, so that was pretty nice of them. So much promotion tonight. 3D printer and a game. If I showed you what I was drinking, I might just break the internet. Alright, let's copy the settings. Bam. There we go. So hopefully we can sweep this stuff up here. A lot of you guys are commenting about jobs and people succeeding in their jobs and swapping them around. I am swapping my duplicants around. I just don't show you every time I move somebody to a different position. So I could put meat back over here if I wanted to. It's not really a big deal for me because I can, in this current challenge of the game, I can just make them whatever I want. Ah, that's right, I got some unrefrigerated food down here because of the water that's found its way in to my area where I'm doing cooking. So I gotta make sure I mop this up or something will go bad. You can see the freshness is going down on that stuff. So thanks for reminding me of that, guys. Bubbles! Get down here and mop this thing up. There you go. There you go. Good job. Hey, don't forget to sweep it up. I don't want that stuff sticking around. Bubbles? Where'd you go, Bubbles? So there was also a recommendation to put a sensor inside of here in order to turn off the water once it reached a certain height. Somehow food poisoning made its way inside of there. That's not good. So if I deconstruct this, I should be able to put a sensor there and then rebuild the pitcher pump. Yeah, where are you? Hydro sensor. There you go. Actually, we'll go ahead and put the hydro sensor right down there at the bottom. And then we'll get rid of the liquid valve and do a shutoff valve. And then, to make things more interesting, we'll take this pipe and we'll bring it on over and feed it into here so that water has many choices. So that will be like this. And then that and that, and you get the idea. Remember that thing I wasn't going to tell you about every time I did it? That stuff. Ha! You know what? I just had a thought. Since I put a 3D printer inside of another 3D printer, I can use that 3D printer to monitor the 3D printer printing. Check this out. You ready? Oh, snap! It's like printception going on here. Far too much brilliance for one night. Alright, so here's what I got going on. I'm going to take a plastic transit tube and I'm going to run it way up there. And I'm going to deconstruct this along the way. I'm going to use this plastic transit tube to get up here so that my duplicants don't have to make this super long path every single time we want to come up here to start work on this very, very large build with the gold volcano and everything. There's going to be a lot of work up there. So once we've suited up inside of our exosuits, we can go ahead and just jump inside the transit tube access point. That'll all be powered by this cold generator, which I should really feed automatically using a conveyor rail. And now, since I have so many metal resources, it's pretty easy to do this. Just put a little thing right there, put a little thing right there. And the same coal that's coming out of these hatches over here on the right can actually just go up and over here like that. Boom! Just like that. Yes. Good day. I'm happy with this. And since I'm digging up some slime, I'm going to want to make sure that I sweep this up, which means I should be able to pick it up and deliver it down here to these storage compactors, who hopefully will have more than 0 inside of it. Aha! There's some. And there's some more. Oh, and speaking of shipping, auto sweeper right there, loader, boom, receptacle, boom, auto sweeper, bada boo. Haha! Cancel that build right there. You know what I'm going for. A little bit of a manual airlock. Too much success for one night if this all goes well. You know what? If I put the loader over here instead of over there, I can save a few resources. I wonder how much gold I can get. I wonder if I could make like all my floor tiles out of gold. You know, plastic used to be the real baller thing to have, but you know what? I think gold trumps plastic. And then the gas pipeline that's going to run from up here, well, it's going to find its way over here and just across the entire base. And I'm just going to make that out of abyssite. So, something like this. Right up there, right down there, way over here. Jump over that one, and then just keep going. That won't take long at all to build. Look at all that pipe. Gosh. Bubbles is like the most efficient duplicant ever. She just does everything. Her only drawback is she gets stuck every single time she does anything. Look at her go. She just built everything over here. Instantly. Just I mean, seriously. Look at this. Uh-oh. Oh, nope. She got out of it. Nearly. Nearly found herself in a spot where she couldn't get out. Well, you know what? I think that brought the temperature down inside that farm. A little bit. All the way down to 7.6 degrees. Yeah. Of course, now I need water to go down there. Come on, water. Another good idea I heard was using a time of day sensor for something like the shower. So maybe you put it on top of a door and that door opens up so that it disables the shower, so that duplicants only use it in the morning or near the end of the cycle rather than just any time throughout the cycle. That might save a little bit of pathing time. You know what? This sensor doesn't work out because this pitcher pump here can't go up quite high enough to make it work. However, I don't really need the pitcher pump because I can just pull it right out of here. Alright, well, I was able to make some progress here. Not quite to the point of actually getting this farm up and running just yet, but it's not too far off. I just got to refine some more metal, things like that. I did get this giant gas pipe made from all the way over here. Well, pretty close to it. Back over here to the left side of the base. So I should be able to get the natural gas generator up and running pretty soon. And then have that kind of make this nice and cold inside of here. That way I get really, really cold, polluted water on the way out, which would just simply increase my cooling capacity. Did get a bit of a transit tube set up here, and the makings for what I need to in order to get this coal generator up and running automatically with an auto sweeper, so long as its priority is set a little lower, right? Alright, so there we go, that is up and running. Things are looking good. However, I'm out of time for tonight. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little episode here of Oxygen Not Included, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this next update is all about. Thanks for watching. If I've earned your subscription, then thank you so much for that. Have a great day, guys. Peace. Brothgar.